ready quite yet to produce a weather engine for this new sim, simply because they don't feel that they can produce something of high quality yet. I think, you know, there needs to be more development, and I really respect that. And I do feel that Rex, they should have gone down that route, and I just think it's a waste of money, quite honestly. Right, anyway, let's get this bird started up here. First of all, I'm just going to check the feed, make sure everything's running okay. So yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. It's a pleasure to be here today. This is a beautiful aircraft, actually. One of the better default birds. We'll put the batteries on, alternator will come on. Power those fancy Garmin is it G3000 in this cockpit? I'm not quite sure. Make sure that we're on a desired tank there. Mixture fully rich. Parking brake sets, which it is now. Lovely. And clear prop. Here we go. Nice. Right, we'll power up the avionics now. Definitely going to need our pitot heat on today. To say, this is Storm Alex. This is live weather using default weather, which is perfectly fine. There are some issues, and in fact at the moment the latest patch from Microsoft Flight Simulator has broken more things than it's fixed. But we are at Orbx East Midlands Airport, and this is kind of my first look at it really, and so far it's nice, but it's not quite the quality I was expecting, to be honest. We've got our little flight plan down there. So how are you all doing with this COVID nastiness? Hope you're all doing well and enjoying everything simulated, whether it's VR or this new sim, which will have VR soon, guys. And of course the beta well, the VR, you can sign up now to that beta, and hopefully some of us will get into that, particularly on this channel, because I know a lot of you guys that are on this channel know your stuff about VR, so they really could do with some of this in that sort of beta. Wow, gorgeous. Right then, we'll get the ATIS if it's working. It's a bit dodgy sometimes. Or actually it's not even working at all. Look, I can't even access the ATIS screen. Why is that? I don't know. Let's have a look here. Oh, nav light on. That's not because, no, I don't know then. That's very strange. Okay, we'll just taxi to the active runway then. Put our CDI on and see what kind of weather we're going to get today. In terms of the wind, it's not too bad, but there's a lot of rain around in the air, a lot of cloud, which will create a lot of turbulence, I'd imagine. Maybe we'll just do a circuit here at Leeds, Bradford, just so we can really check it out. Already I can see some mesh issues on this taxiway. It's going to be a bit bumpy. There we go. Put our wind option on 3 there. Check the wind. 13 knots crosswind, that's not too bad. I think we can handle that. If you want to put your drinks orders in now, Melissa will be moderating this little live stream. I'm just going to backtrack, I think, on the runway. So you put your order in for tea and biscuits, feel free. And please let me know, guys, if I'm a little bit loud or too quiet on the microphone. Oh, sorry, I'm too busy looking at the chat and not looking where I'm going. But yeah, we are at Leeds, Bradford, guys. This is Orbx, Leeds, Bradford. I've literally just bought it. We'll have a bit of a look around here. And then we're going to head to Wycombe Air Park, which is another add-on by Pilot Plus, which I hugely recommend, actually. I've got a review on that on the channel a couple of videos back. Very, very nice. And basically the 3D modelling and texture work is from the ground up as well. So you can really tell whether this scenery from Orbx, although it's very nice, you can tell it's been a straight port over. It doesn't quite have that same level of detail. Right, flaps coming down here. I think the clouds are looking very, very ominous there in the distance. Landing light strobe on. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just put a little heading here. Altitude of about 1700 feet. Because I've got a feeling we're going to be scud running. That's what they call it in the real world, where we're going to try and maintain VFR as much as we can, but it's going to be tricky today. But wherever we can get under the cloud or over it, that's what we'll do. Here we go then. Full power, or not quite full power. Bit of P factor, so we're just going to adjust the rudder. I definitely feel the wind is pushing me, although it's pushing me the wrong way. That's weird. Maybe that's just a P factor thrown in then. And here we go. We are airborne. Look at that for a view. Beautiful. Hey Darren, how's the weather down in Plymouth, mate? Is it pretty rough? Because I think you've got it worse than us in the north. Now the X-Plane version of this scenery has a very nice ortho, but I'm guessing that's not going to be included since this sim already has fantastic scenery anyway. But we'll just have a little scout around this area to see if there is any difference. In fact, actually yes, I think there is. That there is custom ortho, so that's quite good actually. I'm pleased that they've added that in. So well done to Orbx for that. If you can see there guys, that here I can tell that's slightly different resolution from the standard scenery. That's very sharp, look at that. Very nice. So it looks like you do get a fairly decent boundary of high resolution ortho around the airport. So that's, as I say, that's always a welcome addition, I think. It's looking a bit like the weather's clearing a bit this end, actually. But just the lighting in this sim is just fantastic. The way that they really encapsulate that really dark cloud and those gloomy conditions, or a really bright sunny day. I've never seen it done as well as this in any sim or game. You know, I think the lighting they've got perfect. I feel sorry for any add-on developers that were intending to bring more sort of atmospherics to this sim, because it just doesn't really need it, to be honest. And I do feel that the weather developers are going to have a hard time beating this default weather. I think things like historical weather and the ability to be able to find certain storms and things, that's quite useful. But in terms of the visual fidelity and physics of the weather, I'm not quite sure how they're going to beat it, but we shall see. Right, we'll do a bit of a long base here and heading sort of over this industrial. And again, you can see the ortho here is nice and crisp. Looking very nice indeed. It isn't too bad in Plymouth right now. It was worse yesterday. Yes, that's what I thought actually, because I did fly around that area yesterday in the sim. I was getting battered around all over the place. Not sure if Storm Alex will make its mark overnight though, yeah. Well, stay safe, Darren, over there. Look at that for ortho. That's very, very crisp indeed. Very nice, and I'm completely not looking where I'm going. Right, flaps coming down. Little bit of turbulence, but we're on the glide path somehow. That's quite a scene right there. So how many of you guys are looking forward to VR, virtual reality, and how many of you have signed up to the beta? Let me know. Yeah, see, at the moment I'm actually, there's a crosswind and I'm crabbing a little bit. It's not too bad. Kicking a bit of left rudder at the last minute. Oh, there we go. I'm happy with that, that'll do. Okay, right, we'll take off now and we'll start heading onto our flight plan, which, as I say, we'll be heading to Wycombe Air Park today. I have a feeling the weather's going to be worse down south, so probably going to get quite a bit of rain. As I say, it is starting to clear, and I think we are due for a bit of a break in the weather around now before it gets worse again later on. So I might even do another live stream tomorrow, seeing how it feels in comparison to today. Wow, that is gloomy. Really gloomy out there today. We'll make a right downwind here before breaking off. The clouds do look amazing. They really do, Darren. I totally agree. George signed up. Good man. Well, good luck. Hopefully we'll get in. They certainly need a lot of the VR community to help make this, you know, a really crucial upgrade, because it's all very well the sim getting VR, but it needs to be done right. You know, like explained, the way the controllers are used for the menu systems, it's really well done, and we need that for this sim. Very important. I'll just have a look outside here. That looks really good, actually. That looks really nice. So I think, as my sort of short conclusion for Orbx Leeds Bradford, it's a very nice representation, and please I've bought it, but to be honest, I think it could do with a bit of an update, especially around the car park area. It looks a bit messy. The mesh doesn't look right. It needs a bit of attention. It's not quite the quality I was expecting, to be honest. Right, anyway, in fact, I think we can get a bit higher here actually, so we'll go for about 2,500 feet. Come down here and put the autopilot on. Engaging autopilot. Sounds like a game show host. Looking good. 17 minutes to Wycombe. This is a very fast bird, this, actually. We'll just adjust the mixture. All is well. Matt, fly down to Bournemouth. Currently heavy drizzle with cloud at 2,000 feet. Will do, thank you. I might actually head a bit further south once we get to Wycombe. So yeah, thank you for that. Let me know. Keep me updated on the weather there. Stuart, I will sign up Rift S here, so I'll be in wave 2. Yeah, that's a bit strange, isn't it, guys? I suppose it makes sense because it's Microsoft and, you know, Windows mixed reality, but it would have been far better if we'd have had sort of a full release of VR on Steam VR, because at the end of the day, this sim platform is on Steam. I think the Rift S would perform very well in this sim. Be interested to see what the reverb is like. Fingers crossed it won't be too long before we find out for ourselves. So there is Leeds. One thing that would have been nice actually for this Orbx package of Leeds Bradford, it would be nice if we had... Oh, hang on, I'm not listening to ATC. If we had the sort of landmarks of Leeds in the vicinity, that would really make it good value for money, I think, in my opinion. But hopefully they're going to release at some point in the near future some sort of overlay from their True Earth range. Because again, all it will need really is a simple port over, to be honest. With nothing simple, but you know what I mean. It will be. They've already got the assets already there, so it shouldn't be too difficult for them. Right. Anyway, landing light coming off. We'll zoom out a bit here on the map. at that for a view. The clouds look fantastic, they really do. Darren, is it right that the only headset will work with the new sim initially will be the Reverb G2? I have a Vive Pro currently and would be keen to help with the beta. Well, I think, Darren, to be honest, I think it's any Windows Mixed Reality powered headset that will work. So whether it's the Reverb G1, G2 or even the older sort of Windows Mixed Reality headsets, they should technically work. It's not going to be strictly for the G2, although that is sort of the idea in terms of the release, that those two, the headset and VR in the Microsoft Flight Sim, are going to be released together, which it does make, you know, sort of a certain amount of sense, I guess, because it will help with sales, I think. But no, don't worry. But I think for your Vive Pro, I'm not quite sure. I don't think that's going to work, because isn't that powered by Steam? So unfortunately, I don't think you'll be able to use it straight away. "28 people in the chat. Wow, that's amazing. Fantastic. You are welcome aboard this fancy little GA aircraft. God, I would love to fly one of them in real life. They're just gorgeous with that avionics suite. Although, I say, if I had to choose, I'm still a steam gauge, old school kind of guy. Localised ATC voices would be nice. Hey up, lad. Clear to land. Yeah, totally. It would be nice. There is definitely a lot of sort of opportunity for developers to be able to bring some of the really nice features, like, yeah, localised ATC voices. I would buy a add-on like that in a heartbeat. That'd be fantastic. Because I remember when I flew in France, and my friend, I was kind of in charge of the air traffic control, and I really struggled because of some of their accents, and because they spoke so fast, it was a bit stressful. And to be able to sort of replicate some of those regional accents in the sim would be brilliant. Well, this is a very typical scene in the UK. This is what you'd expect. The weather has really gone pear-shaped this last couple of weeks. I think autumn is definitely here now to stay. But there is one perk, I suppose, of living in the UK, and that is the weather is so variable throughout the entire country that it is great fun to fly in this sim with live weather. So yesterday was spectacular. Kind of wished I'd live streamed it now, to be honest, because it was amazing. There was like showers, like real heavy showers all around, and there was a couple of rainbows. It was very dramatic, and that's what I love about this flight sim. For general aviation, it is unmatched. It's incredible. I think for the airliner guys, they still need to get their updates in, particularly for the sort of real big heavy metal. The systems, it's lacking in that respect. But for sort of dead reckoning and general aviation shenanigans, I think this, you can't beat it. And once it gets VR, oh my goodness me, it's going to be hard to go back to X-Plane. William, Swelter, very good quality. The picture now is really like the real one. I totally agree. It's incredible. Darren, I'm going to try and sell my Vive. Yes. I mean, well, it was great. Yeah, totally. In the day, I remember when it was first released, and it was the highest resolution, wasn't it, at the time? The only thing actually with that headset is I think it's got an OLED panel, hasn't it? So it's a very it will have beautiful colours in that headset. So you may find when you get the G2, although having said that, they've done a lot of work on the contrast and colours and brightness, it might not be quite up to the OLED level of colour and black levels. But to be honest, everything else about that headset is so much better. It's worth the trade-off, to be honest. enjoy these views here. I think that's Sheffield over there. Now this new update from Microsoft, as I say, there's a number of issues now. The Autopilot, particularly in the longitude, is a bit broken. I think also there's some issues with, well, I've noticed anyway, with some of these settings, the graphical settings, you need to reapply them because they don't, like the rendering scale, I have that pretty much right up because of my monitor. And I have to reset that every time I go into the sim, which is a bit of a pain. And of course the minimap, if I press the minimap now, the whole sim would just hard crash to the desktop. It's a bit frustrating really, because I think these updates, and I really respect the team, the Sobo team, because they've realised now that they can't keep pushing these updates and these patches out so quickly. They need to do a bit more quality control, shall I say, before releasing these patches, because yeah, they're causing all sorts of problems, as I'm sure you're all aware. So right, we're only about 8 minutes away. Stuart, the cockpit reflection is so much better in the DCS. You mean this here? Well, I think in DCS, does it is it real time like that? I can't remember, to be honest. I think it might be, thinking about it. I think the last time I flew the Hornet was a few days ago, and I think, yeah, it does reflect like that. So yeah, I know what you mean. This particular canopy is kind of, if you look here, it's rounded off at the side, so that might be why it's a little bit distorted. I don't know. I think DCS, quite honestly, is lagging behind now in terms of the VR implementation and performance, because IL2, which I love, has had a number of performance increases recently. So is X-Plane. DCS is still running on coal at the moment, and it needs Vulkan, it really does. And I think the clouds and environmental effects, although they're pretty decent, it's starting to look a little bit, you know, old school now. I think they really need to sort that out, personally. Matt, ready for VR in Flight Simulator? Totally, I cannot wait. It's quite remarkable really, because even though, of course, this channel is all about VR and flying, and I've got to admit, I've been flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator more than anything else right now. Even without VR, it's just so incredible. It blows my mind that even when I fly an X-Plane in VR, I love doing it. It's fantastic, but my heart really at the moment is in this sim. I think it's a huge step forward in many areas, and to think that this is only default, you know, is quite incredible. Right, well, let's see where we are here. We're not really using ATC today. See if Wycombe's going to be coming up anytime soon, or Booker. I'll go past it. So look here. That's one thing I don't really like about this sim, actually, is this ATC window. I find it a little bit clunky and slow and laggy, if I've got to be really picky. I thought about the other day making a video of the 5 things I hate most about this sim, because I know that I'm very positive about it, and but trust me, there's a lot of things I don't like as well. But I'm also aware that this is a huge undertaking to be able to bring a flight simulator of this caliber with this amount of scenery, physics, weather engine all together, and it's only been out a month or two. I think, you know, we need to give the developers a bit of a break, let them do their thing. I think in 6 months to a year's time, this is going to be, wow, incredible, especially with VR. 100% agree VR in a heli with Orbx is great. Yeah, absolutely. I was flying the other day over True Earth, Great Britain, in VR and X-Plane. It's really an incredible experience. But as I say, I must admit, if I had to choose, I would choose this sim over X-Plane at the moment. But thankfully we don't have to choose. We can fly both sims. And that's exactly what I intend to do for many years. That sky is looking incredibly gloomy. Very overcast. So actually we're going to be at our first waypoint in a moment. Echo Golf November Echo. Let's look here. So at the moment we're near my neck of the woods actually, so if I looked out the window now, let's have a look actually. I'm going to look out the window and see if the weather matches up to what we can see. That's incredible, it really does. Yeah, that's spot on. At the moment it's very overcast out there, and it's exactly, even down to the colouring and the lighting, spot on. Love it. Right, best change tanks really. What view's that one? Don't think I have a view set up for that, that's fine. Put the fuel pump on. Check for fuel pressure. And then we'll change tanks. There we go. Hey Bambino, good to see you in the channel, chat even. Thanks for dropping by, appreciate it. Have you signed up to the VR beta? I presume you have. Fingers crossed we'll all get in. In fact, I think everyone in the VR Aviator Facebook group should get in, because we are so passionate about VR. We'd be able to put them right and all of the issues, no doubt, that it will have before its release. But I think, as I said before, actually, I think VR in this sim is going to be the real crucial turning point, to be honest. I need to get it right. Anyone can kind of shoehorn a VR experience in, but it's got to be done. So it's, you know, the menu systems and everything are all there. Stuart, I'm using the Game Pass edition of Microsoft Flight Sim, so I have almost nothing invested in it, unlike X-Plane, and with easily £250 worth of add-ons. Absolutely. Bambino, one of my favourite Microsoft Flight Sim planes is the SR22, certainly one of the most stable. Yeah, that's why I'm using it today actually. It's this is a really nice aircraft actually. They do vary quite a lot actually in terms of their quality. Like the King Air is a joke, to be honest. It's pretty much 60-70% of all the systems are all in op. I really like the Longitude, although at the moment they've wrecked the autopilot system on that with this latest update. It's like a bucking Bronco. Luckily the SR22, which is this aircraft of course, and the 172 seems to have escaped any serious bugs. The TBM is also one of my favourite aircraft. I think you can tell the ones that they've put the most effort into, and in some ways I think they've been better off just focusing on 5 to 10 aircraft rather than, was it 30 or 40 they have now, and you know, really getting them right. But I think in a recent update Sabre have admitted that they need to spend more attention to the systems, the G1000 and the sort of Garmin units, and that's great to hear. And you know, I'm all for them holding their hands up and saying, you know, we made a mistake, we need to focus more on the core elements of the systems. So, you know, hopefully that'll be something that'll be you know, improved as we go along. Oh, you haven't signed up? I thought you would have done straight away. Fair enough. I think it's still open at the moment. Although having said that, Bambino, of course, I've just realised you haven't got a reverb, have you, at the moment? You haven't got a Windows Mixed Reality headset. I think you're still rocking the CV1, which I've got huge respect for, to be honest. And I think you're going to benefit more because you've waited. And if you do decide to upgrade to the G2, you're going to really, really enjoy that upgrade of resolution, without a doubt. Darren, do you use VR controls when flying in VR for button pushes? Yes, to be honest, Darren, 90% of the time I don't, well, in X-Plane that is, I use the controllers simply because they're so intuitive and they work really well. I do feel the Rift S controllers are far better and they feel more natural in the hand when you're sort of messing around with systems and goodness knows what. Than the Windows Mixed Reality controllers, but I think the G2 will improve on that, to be honest. But in terms of obviously some of the other sims like DCS and IL2, you know, your only option is using the mouse. And I've got this feeling, I hope I'm wrong, but I've got this feeling that the new VR implementation in this sim might just be using the mouse. I hope not. I hope that is a way of, you know, using a sort of virtual hand or something, because I do feel that adds quite a lot of the immersion element into it. A bit like Aerofly as well, where you kind of brush your finger along the buttons. I really like that system. Something like that would be great. Bambino, on the Microsoft Flight Sim VR beta, if I had a way to run a separate beta, yes. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I was wondering that myself, whether if I do get sort of accepted into the VR beta, whether I'll have to download the whole thing again with the beta attached to it, rather than it just updating my core sim. That's how I'm imagining it's going to work anyway, to be honest, but I guess we'll see on that one. Heading up on the G1000 would be a minor change, but a massive improvement. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I know. I like to be, you know, orientated wherever I'm pointing the plane for the magenta line to be pointing the same way. So yeah, it's those little things really. But I'm hopeful that VR will be implemented correctly. I think my only worry is this beta process is not going to last very long. By the time we get in, if it's going to actually be released by November time, which is going to coincide with the HP Reverb G2, that doesn't give them a lot of time to do the tweaking that they need to do and add features. So I guess we'll see. But it's exciting, guys. It's one way of looking at it. It's very exciting no matter what. This sim's going to get VR very soon, and when that happens, you'll be pleased to know normal service will resume on the channel and we'll be back to VR again. It's strange, isn't it, how some aircraft you can go into the back like this, and yet others, for some reason, you can't. No idea why. Let's put a bit of heating on. It's a bit cold today. Have a look outside again. G2 pre-ordered in August. Oh, good man. Well, you'll be one of the first to get one actually then. So, in fact, you'll probably get one before me, to be honest, because HP did say to me a couple of months ago that they would provide me with a headset early, but I haven't heard anything from them since. So, yeah, it's not looking good, to be honest. And VR mouse would definitely suck. Yeah, I totally agree. It's just a massive immersion breaker for me personally. I know it's strange because I know you've still got a controller in your hand, but it just feels right with the sort of haptic feedback of, you know, when you're turning all those buttons and knobs and things, you just feel a bit more immersed. Without a doubt. Let's see where we are now. So I can't use the mini map because that will crash the sim. This aircraft is so fast. I'm at 70% power. I'm just going to pull the power up a little bit, and we are easily achieving 150 knots here. Have to convince my wife I need a reverb. Totally agree. Good luck, my friend, on that one. Just say, you know, it's important to your mental health. Just say that. Because quite honestly, I think VR has been an essential thing for me during this sort of lockdown period. I've literally just been hammering DCS and X-Plane and all of the sims really in VR. And it's been a great escapism for sure. Look at that sky. It's so gloomy out there. And even though it's very gloomy and kind of dull, that's exactly how it looks in real life. Spot on. Hey John, I'm still on the first release of the reverb. And the offer still stands for you to borrow it to do a review. That's very kind, John. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do really appreciate that, John, to be honest, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get one in time. Because I haven't pre-ordered, simply because HP said they were going to issue me with an early release. But to be honest, I have a feeling they're not going to do that now, simply because their pre-orders are completely full. I think they've been inundated. It's been a huge success for them already in terms of sort of, you know, the interest. Don't think they really need a small little channel like mine to promote even more, to be honest. But I would love to try the G2 because I'm, you know, really intrigued to see what the upgrades are in terms of generally, really, for people who are coming from, say, a Rift, but also from a lot of us who have got the G1 as well. So thank you very much for that offer. I might take you up on that one. Have a ride down. How's the new bike, by the way? Darren, do you think they will implement kilograms units into the weight and balance screen and the ability to switch between? Well, I hope so, to be honest. I think that will probably be on the agenda. Bambino, when you go back to VR after a few days of 2D, it's like diving into a cool water on a hot day. Well, it's funny, Bambino, because I'm actually going to fly an X-Plane after this, and I always go backwards and forwards with it. You know, when I'm flying in this sim, I just think, oh, this is just so much better than anything we've ever had. And then as soon as you put, you know, VR on and you're in X-Plane again, it's like putting on a pair of old boots. It really is, and you just feel at home again. I've got to say, actually, I think X-Plane's UI is much better, a lot simpler than this sim. I think the camera system needs a bit of an overhaul. I can see what they're trying to do with it, but it's just a bit too complicated. And what I don't like when you go to spot view, how the plane doesn't stay in the centre. It's annoying. And you have to, after a while, you have to reset the camera because your plane will be sort of right over in the corner and you can't get a really good, you know, screenshot. I do find that a bit irritating. It's the little things, I know, but they do matter. We are a fickle bunch as simmers. Where are we going, Captain? We are heading to Wycombe Air Park, which is a add-on scenery from Pilot Plus, and I've just flown actually from Orbx Leeds Bradford that I've just bought now, just before the stream started. And in terms of the quality, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. I think Pilot Plus's new Wycombe scenery has pushed that sort of all-important immersion and 3D modelling and, you know, all the fancy graphics. I think it's pushed it up to a new level, to be honest. And I think a lot of that is because their implementation of this new airfield hasn't just been a straight port. They've actually used all of the technology of this sim, and it really shows. And you'll see it. We will be there soon, actually. I would show you on the mini-map, but that will crash the sim, so I'm trying not to press that button. Because that would be bad. That would be really bad. Bambino, when the tech and sims are right, are you up for a VR shared cockpit, GT flights, next plane? And yes, definitely, that would be great. I would love that. That would be a fantastic idea. I've been thinking about doing some sort of like community-based, you know, flight, or maybe even like a VR aviator-style mass flight somewhere. That would be brilliant. I just don't know how to go about it really, but that would be great fun. I'm really up for that. It's a real honour to have you in the stream today, so thank you for coming along. I really do appreciate it. The never-ending chase, yeah, totally. We are a fickle bunch, but you know, I think this is such a it's far more than just a game for a lot of us here. You know, it is a sim platform that's going to last and stand the test of time. It's not something that we're just going to play. I've used the word play on purpose. You know, for say 30 or 40 hours and then get bored. You know, this is something that is an investment. It's a hobby. And we take it very seriously. And a lot of us, we fly in real life, whether we're PPL holders or whether we, you know, fly with friends. We're in this to make this experience as real as possible, and it's not easy. Sobo have got a Herculean task to keep us all happy, of course, but I think they're in this for the long haul. So I'm hoping that all of these little niggles are going to be sorted eventually. Right, I think over there is Wittering, because I recognise that is Rutland Water over there. So this must be Wycombe. Sorry, Wittering. So that means below us must be the A1. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. There it is. See what I mean, guys? I'm trying to get a view here with the aircraft in the middle. I just can't do it. It's really annoying. Yeah, that is the A1. That is Wittering, which is a RAF base, former home to the Harriers, which in the UK was stupid and we got rid of. In fact, we sold them to the US for really cheap. And now we have the F-35 about 10 years later, which is far too expensive and has got all sorts of problems. But anyway, that's a subject for another time. But yeah, that's where they used to be based. So if you were, you know, riding along the A1, you would see Harriers, incredible sight, over this area. And this is where I live, guys, around this area, which, as you can see, is pretty dismal. It's very flat, not a lot of features. It's very, I mean, the countryside, there's a lot of that, but it's very flat. And this is the kind of weather we get a lot here in the UK. Oh, look at that! Getting a bit of turbulence there. I love that about this sim, the fact that the physical components of the air, the clouds, the way it interacts with the aircraft, it's amazing. It really is incredible. Much appreciated, Bambino. Thank you very much. Oh, we're getting all sorts of... yeah, it's getting a bit rough here. Lord Glennard of Glencoe. I'm guessing you're from Scotland. Don't know why, I just got a hunch. Bought Wycombe off the back of your recent review. Outstanding attention to detail, both the airport and your review. Thank you very much. No, it's a real honour for Joe to reach out to me and provide me with an early copy of that airfield. And yeah, did not disappoint at all. I was completely blown away with it. I think I was really surprised as well, simply because the sim hasn't been out that long. And that sort of airfield, the way it looks, which you will see soon as I'm heading to it, looks like it's been developed over many months. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what Pilot Plus will do in the future, to be fair, actually. I do feel Orbx, they need to up their game a little bit with some of their airfields. Some of them are just straight ports, which are fine because I think the price level seems to be a little bit less for this sim. And I'm pleased that they're really starting to implement some of those sceneries for this for Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I do feel that the quality just needs to be upped a little bit. I won't mention the London landmarks. I won't mention that. Well, I've got to say, Storm Alex is a bit of a disappointment, to be honest. It's not throwing me around like I thought it would. But and to be honest, I think I've timed it really badly for this stream because there's basically two parts to this storm, and I think we're in the middle part where it's quite dry, and we're going to get some more sort of rough weather, winds and rain and all sorts later on tonight. Never mind, we'll carry on regardless. Also, I just cannot believe, I still cannot believe that we can fly pretty much anywhere in the world and stream this level of detail straight into the sim. And the resolution, generally speaking, is very sharp indeed. And it's all default. Incredible. Really cool. Definitely one of the stronger sort of features of this sim. Got to run streaming later. Thanks, Bambina, for coming along. I really do appreciate it. And I'll do my best. I'll come and say hi in your stream later on if it's not too late. Yes, definitely join VR Aviator group on Facebook. If you guys in the chat are not aware, I wonder if I could put a link in the description below. Not sure if I can be able to do that, or maybe Bambino can, unless he's gone already. But I'd highly recommend, guys, join the VR Aviator Facebook group. Of all the Facebook groups I've been a part of over the years, it's just that group is such a refreshing change. We're all adults and we all, you know, just are indulging in the passion of flying in VR, and it's a great bunch of people. Honestly, I sincerely mean that. Am I using a VR headset? No, I wish I was, but no, I'm not. Short fuse. Daniel, Microsoft Flight Simulator is a baby with growing pains. It's exciting to be part of its development. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way of looking at it. I totally agree. You know, it's such a complex undertaking. It really is. And I do get annoyed with some of the bitching and moaning that I hear on some of the groups. In fact, I've left a lot of them because I don't understand the negativity. I mean, this sim, you know, it's so early in its development, and it already looks and feels this good. Of course, there's problems. It does crash. There's patches that are, you know, causing issues, and it's frustrating. I know it is, but this isn't your average Call of Duty title. This is a fully fledged flight simulator. It's not a game, it's a flight sim. And the stock aircraft are exceptional for what you get. It's only going to get better, we've just got to give it time. Just apply to join the Facebook group. Good man, Darren. It'll be a pleasure to have you aboard. Yeah, totally agree, Daniel. Yeah, absolutely. Right, quick sip of cup of tea and have a look outside. Oh, my tea's gone cold. I hate it when that happens. And you know what? It's annoying being a sort of showing these sort of flights off. You always have your best flights when you don't stream or if you don't record. Yesterday, I had an amazing flight where those like rainbows appear in the distance. And in fact, look at this. Actually, I'm going to shut for a minute because we can see here that the weather's starting to close in. Over there, you can see a lot of rain there. That's amazing. Look at that. To be able to see that in a sim, to be able to see the level of dynamic weather and how, looking over there, I can see rain now, and we're heading in that direction, and we're going to hit that. Just those simple things, we've never had that before in a flight sim. Apart from perhaps Flight Unlimited 3, which was released in 1990 something. Oh no, was it 2000 actually? I think it was, yeah, 2000, 2001. And that was the first sim that ever had sort of a fully fledged dynamic weather system. And it's not until now, you know, some 20 years later, we have a flight sim that can actually rival what they did back then. Pretty amazing when you think about it. Ah, Melissa, I don't suppose I could have another cup of tea, could I, with a few biscuits? Thank you. Yeah, that's right. It's not compatible yet with VR. It will be soon, though. I wasn't sure if you fell asleep or not. Colin the dog. By the way, anyone who's missing Colin the dog and Doris will be on a video very soon. They're very sorry, they've had prior commitments because they're in the beta at the moment, the VR beta. I hope you're using Yorkshire tea. In fact, I think we are actually. I'm not quite sure. Melissa will be able to confirm that. Chris, do you think in general landing is a bit too easy in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Well, to be honest, I actually think it's harder only because of VR. I'm so used to flying in VR these days that going back to a 2D screen feels horrible, to be honest. It doesn't feel that great. So I find my perception, you know, of the ground and sort of my overall surroundings is a lot harder to judge. So from that sort of point, I think it's actually harder for me personally. Just sit in the back for a bit, guys, and enjoy the views. In fact, actually, I need to change tanks. Sorry, guys. I need to change tanks big time. I'm getting a little bit concerned about fuel, actually, but right, fuel pump going on. Check for pressure. Can hear a few raindrops now. Change to the left tank. Ah, we're fine with fuel. Plenty of fuel left. We're fine. Good stuff. Let's have a look at our view here. Okay, so our next, we're going to the BNN VOR, sorry, next. I said VR then, didn't I? You can see that's on my brain. And then we'll be heading to Wycombe from there. And it looks like things are going to get a little bit wet. And you know what? This is what I love about this sim the most. If I had to pick one thing that I absolutely adore, it's the weather engine. And for everyone who's quite new to the stream, thank you so much. Got 54 people in at the moment. I am so taken back by that. Thank you so much. I wouldn't really recommend Rex, to be honest. I think it's going to get better over time, but they've released it a bit too early, to be honest, to get a quick book. Don't think it's ready yet. We do need historical weather. We need a weather engine to be able to get better detail about sort of our destination airport and to be able to search for certain weather scenarios. That would be great. But in terms of actually improving on what we have right here, it's just not going to happen yet. And that's why Active Sky, hi-fi simulations, which really are, I think, the quintessential weather engine, that they're the guys that know what they're doing. They're not releasing anything yet because they don't feel that they can bring anything extra to this platform right now. I think now it's a perfect time to talk about the weather, because you can see here we are about to head into a rainstorm. Oh, we've got a cup of coffee here, a cup of tea rather, thank you very much. Any biscuits? You are? Oh, right, okay. Never mind the dogs, I want a biscuit. Thank you. Oh dear. Sorry, looking at the chat here, getting a bit carried away, yabbing on a bit. Peter, hi guys, from Shropshire, UK. No storm here, only rain. Sunshine in the south coast. You could use Yorkshire tea instead. Totally agree. Atari 1200. Yes, that's what I had. I had the Atari. That was my first computer. And my first flight sim was the F-17A Stealth. Do anyone remember that? It was on floppy disk. And it was just basically a wire frame. And I remember when I first took down a MiG-29, I was so happy. Forget the horror here. 1. What do you think of the Quest 2? Worth getting for someone new to VR? Well, to be honest, I'm not a fan of the Quest 2 for a number of reasons. 1, the Facebook login thing I think is a bit cheeky. I don't like it. I don't like that idea at all. For instance, the Reverb G2 Omniset is going to have a biometric suite of basically data that is going to be anonymous and de-identified. You don't have to log in. The Quest 2 hasn't any of those features, and yet they still want you to log in and provide your data, which you are giving them for free. I think that's one of the reasons why there's an idea of why it's so cheap. Another reason I think as well is basically it's not a fully fledged dedicated PC VR headset. What that means is you're going to have to use a USB cable to plug into your computer, and that means one thing: compression. That's the last thing you want when you're flying in VR is compression. It's not going to look as good, and I think there's been some comparisons online of the Rift S and the Quest 2, and the Quest 2 has the Rift S has beaten that quality test. So yeah, not a fan of the Quest 2. I think the strap as well is rubbish. It's not very comfortable, and I think it only has about an hour and a half, 2 hour battery life. Now, many simmers will know that some of our flights can last 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. It's not very useful, is it, if you're going to have to change or recharge your batteries of the headset? I don't even know how that's going to work, to be honest. So I think once you add, because like the link cable itself is about $100 or about $90, so that puts it up to about $400. Then you're going to need the comfort strap. Oh, bit of a stutter there. By the time you've got all of these things, you're better off with the G2, no question. In fact, I think at the moment, last year VR was quite difficult because there was so many different headsets coming out. This year it's really easy because there's only, what I can see is the G2. There's nothing else out there that provides that level of features and technology that's coming to the market anytime soon. So I think really it's quite an easy, if any of you guys are looking for a new VR headset, I think the G2 might be it. Bearing in mind, guys, I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say for certain. Or you could actually pick up a G1. I'm getting loads of stutters here. What is going on? I'm getting a G1. You might be able to pick one up second hand pretty cheap, which is also a fantastic headset. I'm going to do a comparison of the G1 and G2 as soon as I can get my hands on one. God, that was a long answer, wasn't it? Sorry, guys. ZX81 was my flight time at my first flight sim. Brilliant. Commodore 64. Oh god, yeah, now we're showing our age now, aren't we? Oh, it's raining now, guys. It's getting a bit heavier. Sure, our pitot heat is on. Yes, it is. Good. Totally agree. Weather is mint. Yeah, totally. My first sim was LHX on Mega Drive. Mega Drive. Oh, I wasn't lucky enough to have a Mega Drive. I had the Master System. Steve, yeah, the new update is crashing a lot. Absolutely. I'm being a bit brave, to be honest, streaming this new update, because it's a mess. Quite honestly, it's the worst update, or shall I say patch, of them all. Oh, look at this for weather. Oh my god, gorgeous. We're getting quite a few stutters here. Hopefully they will iron themselves out a little bit at the moment. Atari ST, yeah, I had one of them, Peter. In fact, I bought it off my friend. I remember I think I was at school when that was out, and I think I sold him a guitar for his Atari ST, I think, and a load of games. I think, Darren, actually, you've hit the nail on the head there. The older generation of flight simmers, you know, we appreciate this sim more because we've been through the pain. You know, we have got to that point. We've experienced the likes of FS95 and FS5 even, I think it was, and you know, remember when Flight Sim 2000 came out and it was a disaster. It was like, in terms of performance, nothing could run it. You know, it was just terrible. And it crashed and everything. I tried to run it on my computer, and I think one of my friend's dads, who was in the RAF at the time, bought a brand new Pentium 4 processor for his computer, and it ran at about 15 frames per second, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So that's where I'm coming from. And now we've got a flight sim now, which, like for instance, we've just gone through a huge shower, and now the visibility is now much better. Just that effect of the weather and how it's all integrating in to this incredible experience is just, it's a dream come true for me, guys. It really is. It's refreshing to see someone flying over, not flying over Japan. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you know, I could have literally done a video of Japan straight away and got loads of views, but I wasn't really up for that, to be honest. I'm actually doing a world tour at the moment, and I'm going to get, when I get to Japan, that's when I'll fly over it. So, George, flight sim has come a long way. Totally agree. I'm really behind on the chat here, guys. I'm really sorry about this. Please don't take it personally if I don't answer your question. I can't believe how many people are in the stream. This is fantastic. Blown away by the sloped runways and rain on the cockpit windows, which we have been waiting for years. Absolutely. Hudson, F18 Interceptor in the UK. I don't remember that one, actually. Flight Unlimited 2 was awesome, totally agree. We need a minimum of 2080 minimum for the G2 though, don't we? Well, not really. I think the 1080 Ti card will be fine. I think, to be honest though, guys, I'm getting quite a few stutters here. I don't know what's going on here. Having a few slowdowns here. Might be the weather closing in, I don't know. We're really smooth again now though. Back up to about 45-50 frames per second. So we're not too far away now, guys. We are just at our VOR, BNN, and then we're going to make a sort of westerly turn and head to Wycombe Air Park. Way back in the late 60s, I tried an RAF Link trainer. It was awful at the time. Pale. Wow, that's cool. Wow. Oh, Fly. Yes, I remember Fly 2. Very sad that they didn't really make it. That was a fantastic sim. Really focused on general aviation as well. Oh, look at that, look. You see that, guys? In the scenery there. Wow, amazing. Sorry guys, I'm trying to have a sneaky biscuit and no one wants to hear me crunching, so I'll just turn the mic off for a moment. Right, we're going to slow down a bit now. See if we can contact Wycombe. We are pretty much IFR right now, to be honest. So look here, where are you? Booker, Echo Golf Tango Bravo. Let's see what the situation is here.
Tower Cirrus Victor Romeo Foxtrot Sierra Golf 15 miles northeast to live.
Pentium 4, yeah, totally. Seems like an ice year, years ago, totally agree. Peter, any beer on board? Yes, Melissa, I think we have some beer in the back. Some San Miguel, if that suits your tastes. Christopher, windshield raindrops, yes, they are modelled, absolutely, and they look fantastic. We're only getting a very little splattering of rain, and because of the prop, you don't always see those raindrops, and that is true to real life. I've flown in real life in the rain in a single prop before, and you don't always see the rain like you would in a car. So they've modelled that really well, actually, but you'll see that as we land. And depending on... Oh, hang on, sorry. I'm not listening to ATC.
Make left traffic runway 24 right Cirrus Foxtrot.
But as this rain's getting heavier, we might see a few windshield effects splattering around here. Oh, in fact, you can see it now, guys. Can you see that? There's the rain, and you can see it on the side. Better, in fact, if I go to the back. There you go, look, there's the rain effects. Can you see that? It's very subtle, but very real. It's not overdone. I'll have a look this side as well. Look at that, look. That looks fantastic. Wow. Gorgeous. Right, well, guys, I think at this point we need to go hands-on, to be honest. Try drinking beer when you are flying in VR. Oh, forget the horror here. Oh, thank you very much. That is much appreciated, no problem. Thank you for your donation to the channel. That really means a lot. But honestly, a lot of people are raving about the Quest 2 at the moment, but personally, I don't think it's worth it for us flight simmers, particularly for VR, PC VR. It really isn't what we need. I think the Reverb G2, and to be honest, by the time you've finished with all the upgrades that you're going to need to get anywhere near what the Reverb G2 is, you're looking at about a $50 difference. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. So, sure, I'll find some in the fridge. Rum, I don't think we have any rum actually. I'm not much of a rum drinker. McGuinness, I am now semi-disabled and have to wait for my shopping to turn up. The RAF Link trainers used to... Oh, bless you, yeah. I'd love to try one of those. That sounds really interesting. My friend actually, he unfortunately had a motorcycle accident, is now disabled, and he uses VR all the time, particularly flight simming, and absolutely loves it. And I think it's a fantastic aid, to be honest. For therapy as well, but that's again another big discussion for another time. Right, we're going to try. Can you see the runway, guys? Can you even see the airfield? I can't see it anywhere. Look at that. That is a dismal scene right there. Getting a few audio drops here. Apologies for that, guys. Right, we are hands-on now. Landing light coming on. And we're going to try and get this bird down in one piece. Somewhere out there is our runway. And there's no ILS here at Wycombe, so it's going to be scud running, hands-on, dead reckoning. Marginal VFR conditions, just how I like it. Although to be fair, we have got synthetic vision, so we are cheating a little bit, to be honest. But yeah, I have noticed the patch has broken quite a lot, and here I'm getting quite a bit of stutters here that I never used to get, so I don't know what's going on there. Luckily it's not causing too many problems, but if that was in VR that would be rather uncomfortable. Smurf, I'm waiting on my G2. Peter, hold tight, he's landing. Yep, totally. Seatbelts on. Please stow all your beer and your wine and your rum and biscuits and tea. I'm not promising this is going to be a smooth landing. Can't even see the bloody runway here at the moment. My goodness me. Mind you, we are still a little far out here. We're about 3 miles away. Oh, hang on. I think I can see a glimpse of the runway lights there. Yes, I can. And that's one thing about the reverb. You really see far away in the distance, even with the G1. And remember, the G1 has the same resolution as the G2. So it's all about that lens design that they've changed and the colours and the contrast. But in terms of the resolution, it's still going to be the same as the G1, which we all know and love so much. Right, here we go. Flaps are coming down. Do a bit of lighting here, to be honest, guys. It's getting a bit dark. And there we are. Out of the darkness, we can see the runway lights there. So this is Pilot Plus Wycombe Air Park. Can you see, guys, now that I've slowed down, sorry, the stutters are terrible for some reason, we are getting more rain effects because we've slowed down. Can you see those rain effects, guys? I'm trying to sort of zoom in for you as well as fly the aircraft. We're a bit too fast, actually. Alright, here's another thing that this flight sim does with default aircraft. You can side slip. You can't do that in X-Plane. Oh, stutter, stutter. This is pretty bad. What is going on? Hopefully we can make it okay, guys. This is how it used to be, you know, stutter central. This is terrible. I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to carry on. I've got a feeling this sim might crash in a minute. Oh, did you hear that? That's terrible. Because I'm an old guy, I'm used to doing finals. Oops, apparently it wasn't clear to land, never mind. Used to finals like that with a really stuttery frame rate. Yeah, we were down to a pretty crappy frame rate there. That's nothing to do with this scenery. It's just for whatever reason, this patch from Asobo, it's going a bit pear-shaped, to be honest. Oh, never mind. We've landed anyway. Can you see there the rain effects? Looks fantastic there. Really nicely done. Right, we'll just backtrack on the runway to annoy ATC even more. I have complete faith in your... Oh, thank you, George. It could be Windows Update, actually, yeah. I don't know why. I'd never usually have this sort of performance issues, but hey, we're live streaming, so that's the way it is. Thank you so much for everybody in the chat today. It's been fantastic fun. I really do appreciate all your support. It's been it's a very exciting time for flight simulation at the moment. And now I'm in trouble with the FAA, but it's been worth it. What we'll do, guys, we'll have a quick look around Wycombe Air Park for all of those of you who haven't seen it yet. If we can manage for the sim not to crash. My computer's definitely doing something in the background, which is causing issues. God, I hate Windows Update. I bet that's what it is. God, look at this place. Amazing. Beautiful detail. We'll park over here somewhere. There we go. That'll do. So welcome, guys, as I say, to Wycombe Air Park. We'll just close things down here. Very simple aircraft, this, really. You can hear all those rain effects. Very, very nice indeed. Can't open the door, unfortunately, because for some reason the default aircraft, none of the doors actually work. And we'll go in drone mode. I'll just check the chat again. Peter, nice one, Steve. We can walk away from this one. Yeah, that was lucky, actually, because literally with all the frame rate drops I was getting, I was wondering if it was going to get down then for a moment. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for the trip. We'll try mine in an hour. Your in-flight caterer is superb. She'll appreciate that. Right, let's hopefully if the drone works, we'll have a quick look around. Hang on, that's not it. This is what I mean about this camera system. It's a bit cumbersome at times. There we go. So I think, personally, guys, this is the best current airfield that you can get for Microsoft Flight Sim in terms of just the detail realism. It just looks absolutely fantastic. There is a little issue there with some of the black lines. That is a Microsoft Flight Sim issue. That's not the scenery itself. And if we look at the control tower here, it's just starting to, the rain's stopping now. You'll be able to see, if I can get the drone to work properly, you can see there you've actually got rain effects on the tower itself, and I can even go inside the tower. Oh god, sorry, hang on, there we go. And you can see, look at that, that looks so detailed. But yeah, it's a wonderful, charming airfield. Just look at the rain effects here. With this rain sweeping across the airfield, it looks fantastic. Beautifully done. Alright, let's check the chat again now. Yes, just a bit. Totally Robert. Definitely more pressure when there's 50 people in the chat. I can't believe there's that many. Thank you so much. I do really appreciate it. So guys, I think that's probably going to be it for this one. But I might do another live stream later because I'm heading to Dubai actually as part of my world tour, so I intend on doing that later. And I need to get some X-Plane VR in as well at some point soon. So for now, I think I'll bid you farewell and say thank you to each and every one of you for your support on the channel. It really means a lot. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye for now.